right now I am working on my short film, and I'm working on my last few edits that I have. Just figuring stuff out, you could say. Too much, I don't know. Let's do it on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. So I gotta make sure that I finish it. I am pretty nervous about watching it in front of everyone because we're having like a watch party thing for our final. And I'm pretty nervous because all of our professors are gonna come and watch them. And I just don't know if I like mine that much. I feel like it could be better, and it's not. It's not exactly what I was thinking, but I think it's good. I want to add in a lot of stuff to make it better. Like I want to try and find like sound effects and make it like really silly and goofy, because that's kind of the vibe anyways. And then I want to like make the colors look really good, but I don't know how to do that, and so I gotta do that, figure that out, and then put all the footage together, make sure I have all the footage so it all makes sense. Luckily, I am good for my time limit. It had to be 2 to 10 minutes long, and mine is 3 minutes long. So, and that's without the added footage that I haven't added yet that I filmed on Thursday. So that's pretty good. Also, I figured out, my friend Lilith told me how to download videos from YouTube and make them into like a sound. So maybe I'll have some more fun music in my videos. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I wanted to do a quick recap of my finals and my experience with my art finals. I have done art finals before. This is my sophomore year, so my 3rd semester in art school. Normally they are not hard at all. I don't know if that's just my experience. I don't know, my teachers are really good at giving me a lot of time in class to work on stuff and just giving us enough time, I think. And I am pretty good at like making sure I get things done. So it's always been kind of easy for me. This time, what were my finals? So I'll tell you all my art classes. So in my graphics class, my final was to do a self-portrait that described something about us. So I will put a picture here probably. Yeah, put there of my self-portrait that I did. Basically, I put some fish around it, and it's me with my sketchbook. I like to draw fish a lot, and fish are like aquatic animals are normally pretty big in my art. I'm not really sure why, but I've used them in like 3 different art pieces without really knowing why. I don't know, I just gravitate towards them. Also, I'm pretty big on environmentalism, so I wanted to add that in. And I think like caring for the environment kind of goes along with all the other things that I believe in. Also, fish are pretty innocent little animals. Like they don't really do anything, they just kind of swim around, and they really help the environment. So I thought that was a good symbol for other things that I care about. So I did that, and then we had to screen print it. My professor was very nice. Shout out my professor. He prepared the screens for us because not many of us had done screen printing before. So he did that for us, which was really cool. And then he helped us screen print it. Next one, my eye is like not moving at all right now. It's kind of freaky. My mobile app design. We had finished our projects really early compared to what he kind of thought we would. So instead of doing another app, we did a little game on our app, and we did like a Flappy Bird type app, so we coded that out. And I unfortunately missed the last day where we could make it our own, so mine is just really basic and boring, and I probably won't be able to to fix that. So that's okay though. I was visiting Indiana, which I think was a pretty good experience, but yeah, unfortunately I missed that day. And we basically had no final because we had done all of our projects early and we did the game, which he considered our final. My last final was film. You guys probably saw me editing that in this vlog. Okay, so film was a lot. I had last week was technically, it was really my finals for like all my classes. My film final was this Tuesday at 3 p.m. but our final was due at 1 p.m. So I was working on it on Tuesday morning. I had worked on it all Monday night, and I was then just doing a few little touch-ups on Tuesday to make sure I didn't miss anything and to just look at it with fresh eyes. So I did that. I noticed pretty early on in my editing, after I could not refilm anything because we didn't have any more filming days at school, and I didn't want to ask people to come in. Like, that was just too much. So I did risk getting a lower grade on my final, but that is okay. And I had a good grade in the class, and I actually finished with a pretty good grade, so I'm not worried about it. So I had some blurry areas, and I had some audio problems, just people talking really quietly or people talking too loudly, that kind of thing. So I had to kind of manually change that, but when I did that, it would, like, the background noise would be too loud and it just sounded weird. So I ended up just not changing the sound, and I did get points deducted for that, but I understand why. Story time with the film. Basically, when I was turning in my film, I had to upload it, export it, all that stuff, whatever. Then, fun thing happened, all the Wi-Fi in my town went out. So I couldn't upload my final for to finish it. In the text on Canvas, it said if you don't upload it by 1, you get a 0. So I was freaking out. At this point, it was 12:15 and I had not showered. I'd been working on my film all morning, and I had 45 minutes to find Wi-Fi and upload my film. Also, uploading the film took a good amount of time because it was about a 3-minute long video. It's not gonna upload very quickly on Canvas. My first option was my local library because I didn't know if I was out of Wi-Fi or the whole town was out of Wi-Fi. So I went to my local library about 5 minutes away. I got dressed really quickly, went to the library, and I walked in and I said, "Hey, do you guys have Wi-Fi?" And they said, "No." And I said, "Cool." And then they talked to me for a little bit, said there was something wrong, something, whatever. I was just trying to get out of there. They were trying to talk. I was not. And so I said, "Oh, I have to turn in like a final, so I'm gonna go head out to the next town over and see if they have Wi-Fi." And they said, "Yeah, go do that, good luck." And they were mostly really nice. Then I go to the other library and I come and I say, "Do you have Wi-Fi?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Can I use it?" And she said, "You mean the computers?" And I said, "Yes." And so she was like, "Yeah, just go ahead and use them." Plugged in my SD drive and got to uploading. It was 12:50 when I got to the other library. So then I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I had already messaged my professor. She said it was fine if I turned it in a few minutes late. So I was hoping that I could get it in like a few minutes late, and I ended up turning in my final at 12:57, which was cutting it close. Let me tell you. The rest of my finals I already talked about. You can see those in my last vlog. I had public speaking and math, got those done easy peasy. Not really, but like technically, yeah. I thought it would be interesting to add a bit more about my reading in my vlogs, because I read a lot. If you know me, you know I read a lot. I thought it would be interesting to add that in. So if you know about Goodreads, which is what you can see right here, if you have Goodreads, follow me on Goodreads or friend me. I will become friends with you if you want. But on Goodreads, you can keep track of all the books that you've read, and you can set challenges for yourself. So say you want to read like 50 books in a year, you can set that. So my challenge for this year was to read 100 books in this whole year, and right now I am at 87. At the beginning of the month, I had 24 books to read. So that was my goal, was to read 24 books in December. I wouldn't be so behind had I not had jaw surgery, because during jaw surgery, I literally couldn't focus on anything, and I thought I was going to have all this time to read, and I did not. So I took about 2 months off of my challenge, and it really messed me up. I'm going to tell you all the books that I read this week. So this week I read the second book of the Promised Neverland manga series. My plan is to read all of these. There's 20 of them. so I'm gonna read all of them. Pretty quick read. I gave it 4 stars. There you go. It's gonna be quick because I got a lot of books. Then I reread The Great Gatsby and I upped my rating from 2 stars to 3 stars. I thought the beginning was pretty boring and I liked the ending part. And I liked how it ended, which it seems a little messed up, but I think it made sense. The third book in the Promised Neverland series, I gave this 5 stars. I really, really liked the third book. The fourth book in the Promised Neverland series, I gave this 4 stars. Next, you're gonna get really mad at me. The fifth book in the Promised Neverland series, and I gave this 5 stars. Yeah, I liked this one. This one was pretty good. Okay, then I read Crying in H Mart, which I gave 4 stars. I liked it, but I thought it could have been better. That's it. It's really sad. Don't read it unless you want to be sad. Then I reread Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, and I gave it the same rating that I did a couple years ago, which was 4 stars. I like this book actually because of the ending again, which is really sad, but I think it says a lot about how people view things. That's why I gave it the rating. The last book that I have read this week is book 6 in The Promised Neverland, and I gave this 5 stars. I think this series is really, really good so far. Mostly with graphic novels, it's really hard for me to give them 5 stars because I don't know, they have to be really good. Like, I feel like with normal books, it's a lot easier to give 5 stars because you're with it longer and you get a lot more detail into it and you can kind of see why people made the decisions they did. In graphic novels, you don't always get that. But I think this story has done really good with that, and I definitely recommend it so far. I'll be reading it through the entirety of December, so I'll let you know if I no longer recommend it, of course. That is what I read this week. I hope you have enjoyed, and I hope to make this video a bit more fun to watch. I'll see what I can do. But I hope you enjoyed seeing more about my books. I also hope to include more about my drawing now that I have time to actually sketch and draw like normal. If you want to see more of my drawing content, always go to my Instagram. That is mainly where I post my art, and I haven't for this week because this week was kind of stressful. That's it. See you guys next time.